This is episode 8 on June 21st, and I am live here from coastal Maine. On the boat, waiting for Jake, waiting for my long-lost brother to check in and see how he's doing in his recovery. I'll be talking about my own recovery too. I'm Bina, and I'm an alcoholic. I'm also a raging bipolar addict who has recovered from a few different substances, but like Jake, alcohol has been my biggest demon. And if you're listening today and struggling because of your addiction, please know that life is so much better on the other side. I am living proof of that. I almost died of my addictions when I was 30 years old, and I'm 2 days away from being 32 and just a couple weeks away from being 2 years sober. And my life is amazing. This podcast is just a little part of it. Jake, he's getting himself situated, so I'm just kind of getting the wheels turning tonight. I wanted to lead with a thank you for tuning in. Anybody who's watching, whether it's live or whether you're catching the recorded version, they just thank you for tuning in and thank you for showing up, not just for me and Jake, but for yourself and showing up for this space today. But before we dive into the heart of this episode, the Father's Day episode, I just wanted to lead with a little bit of food for thought, and it comes from this author, Joanne Hari, who wrote something that I find very beautiful about addiction and healing. And they wrote, "The opposite of addiction is not sobriety. The opposite of addiction is connection." When we're in the worst of it, addiction isolates us. It builds walls, it shuts the door, and it convinces us that we are entirely alone in our struggle. But the moment we choose recovery, we realize that we cannot do this alone. True healing doesn't happen in the dark. It happens out loud. It happens when we reach out a hand and share our stories and show up for the person next to us who might be struggling just a little bit harder today. Helping others isn't just a byproduct of recovery, it is recovery. And that is exactly why this podcast exists. I built this platform to tear down those walls of isolation and create a space where we can connect. Whether you're fully recovered, currently recovering, or just taking it one single hour at a time, you belong here. Since we are streaming live right now on Facebook, this isn't just talking at you. You know, we want to hear from you. Drop a comment, share a piece of your story, or just come say hey. We're looking at comments in real time. We're reading them in real time, engaging in real time. Waiting on Jake. Last I heard, he just needed to eat a sandwich really quick. He needed some dinner. He's hungry. Between my brother and I, we've recovered from a literal dumpster fire life. That's what I like to call our life. It was just a complete dumpster fire. Anything that could go wrong would and did. Jake was reunited with our mother, actually, amazingly, when he was 17 years old, and he stayed with her for 1 year. And he was there on the day she died. He saw the heart attack that took her down, and he called 911. It was a later in adolescence manifesting trauma. A lot of my traumas seemed to happen very early on, but they did kind of follow me throughout life. I was adopted, not within the family. It was not a kinship placement. And they were not supportive of my brother and I having a relationship together. They did not do the visitations that were ordered, even though it was literally ordered by the court that we were supposed to still have visitations, get to know each other, have a normal brother and sister relationship, and it just didn't happen. I tried to just live with that. I always wondered where my brother was, what he was doing. I wondered if he was even alive. And when I was 16 years old, I found his Facebook account. I also found our mom's Facebook account. I write about that more in my second memoir. It's called Finding Michelle Canoe. If you wanted to learn the whole story, you should check it out. It's free on Kindle right now, too. I'm going to leave it free on Kindle until July 7th as a celebration of my 2-year sobriety date and also the release of my third memoir, which is the unpublished journals. And basically, you're just going to be able to read more journal entries from when I was in active addiction to give you a better sense of what the fuck are people thinking when they're in addiction. I'll show you what I was thinking. It's a little bit like my first memoir. It's the same type of deal, you know. They've got the journal entries, but this second one, it's crazy raw. I had a lot more journal entries, a lot more journals than I even knew about. I found more of them after I published my book, and I was like, oh damn, like this is how 30 Dirty and Dying was supposed to end. But it's all good. We're just going to make it an extended version, and it's not going to be a paperback book. It's going to be a digital platform or a digital product. It'll be on my website. My website is sabrinaillustrated.com. You can also find some of my sea glass jewelry there. I make lots of jewelry from sea glass that I find right off the coast of Maine, mostly Portland, Maine, like right there, basically. And I just turn it into like wire wrap jewelry. I have necklaces, I have rings, bracelets, all sorts of stuff. I do custom jewelry orders. I also have some sobriety jewelry going on right now too. So if you need a little pick me up, something to like regularly remind you that you need to be sober and to stay here with us in recovery, you should check out my website, sabrinaillustrated.com, and just make your way over to the gifts section and you'll find some cool little one day at a time type jewelry pieces, along with the sea glass jewelry. And I don't know if you know this, but I also sell artwork. I do commission paintings by request. I do not have the time anymore to be committing regularly to artwork, so I basically just do these by request. I mostly focus on gothic gore art, but you know, I've done some other stuff too. Just don't ask me to paint like a sunset because I ain't doing it, and I ain't gonna draw you any flowers. I also do not really do tattoo draw ups anymore because I'm sick and tired of drawing pocket watches. But other than that, yeah, I have some of my artwork up on my website too. You can find my books there. I've just got like a little bit of something for everybody, you know, books, art, jewelry, and podcasting. I'm really putting all of my podcasting efforts into this. If you're interested in being a guest, please send me an email, sabrinaillustrated@gmail.com. We're looking for people who have stories of recovery, stories of survival, or just people who watch the show and they're like, I think I could hang out with these two people for a minute and have a really good conversation. Because Jake and I can talk to each other all day long. I could sit here and talk to myself all day long. But the real important part is about connection, right? That's what we were talking about. There is no such thing as recovery without connection. That's why AA has done so well, because it's bringing people together, and it's people who won't judge you, because that's what us addicts are always so afraid of, is just being judged. We've already been judged so much, and we're honestly our own worst critic. People forget that. When you're stuck in addiction, you're stuck in a loop of self-induced guilt and shame that you internalize and use substances to numb it out. It's a complete upside down, backwards loop that we just can't get out of. And sometimes if somebody can just tell us, like, I empathize with you, I see what you went through, and I'm sorry. Boom, it just can snap something. And it's getting back your sovereignty and like getting back the power of your voice and your story. I can still remember the very first time I ever told somebody about the sexual abuse that was occurring in the adoptive home I was in, outside of confronting the adoptive parents. Outside of that, the first time I told somebody, and the first words out of this person's mouth was, I believe you. And it was somebody within the family. I mean, not related, but connected. And it was like, this person had the chance to take my abuser's side. And they believed me after, you know, my adoptive parents had told me that nobody ever would. And that sparked something in me really major. It gave me a level of acceptance that I didn't have up until that age. And I believe I was 21. So I first told about sexual abuse when I was 16. and didn't say anything again until I was 21. And I only thought of it at 21 because I was in court-ordered counseling. And the counselor had said to me, "Have you ever had any symptom? Have you ever had any history of sexual abuse?" And I was like, "You bitch! Like, how dare you come around me talking like that? Like, asking me those kinds of questions?" But it was court ordered, so I had to keep going back. And we never really talked about it actually, but I wrote about it. I journaled about it. I hadn't touched a journal in like 5 years, but after that, I started journaling again. And that was how 30 Dirty and Dying picked up. I just, yeah, it was a hard time. I was only 21. And, you know, when you're uncovering suppressed memories, it's very dark and very scary. And you sort of question everything you'd already been through and you start questioning your own memory. Like, if I suppressed this to go away, like, what else is my brain doing? Like, what else has it hidden? That was the scariest part for me. And it still scares me to this day because sometimes even last night, I was trying to sleep and I'm like, what if there's stuff that happened to me that I don't remember and I just haven't tapped into it yet? And what if I need to do that in order to heal? Because there's so many triggers for people who are survivors of extreme abuse or survivors of complex PTSD. It's Father's Day. I obviously don't really like this holiday, obviously. I mean, that's a given. I hate it because my history with dads is just really bad. But how do you feel about Father's Day? Is it triggering to your sobriety? Do you still have your dad around? What's the relationship like with your dad? My biological dad, I have wonderful memories of him. I have a lot of memories of him from early childhood. Like I remember going to the beach with him all the time. I remember just always being with him. I was like a complete daddy's girl. Sorry, I need to clean this. I thought he was fun. I thought he was cool. I thought he was funny, and he was. He was all of those things. My dad was a very cool guy. He uh, he changed a little bit as I got older, and when I reconnected with him, as you can imagine, he had a very rough upbringing. Though my dad had a really rough childhood. He was in institutions by the time he was 5 years old because he had committed arson at age 5. I read that in my foster care files. I don't know like what the situation really was at hand, what he set fire to or anything. I'll have to investigate that, which I'm thinking about writing a book about my dad. Um, he's not as much of a mystery, I suppose you could say, as my mother was when I wrote my book about my mom because I wrote my father letters while he was in jail. Once my mom died, I was 19, and I reached out to him and started writing him letters to the Maine State Pen. We wrote letters back and forth for probably 2 years. Yeah, it was a long time, and sometimes phone calls. But he sounded very well educated and very smart. He didn't sound interested in using substances anymore when we were writing those letters to each other. So I'm like, okay, this guy just kind of went through a rough time after he lost me to foster care. He had a rough mom, I guess you could say. His mom was like the town drug dealer. I'm sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings in my family that's watching this, but she sold pills. And she had my dad doing it at a young age. And this was in like small town USA, like super small town, Machias, really very rural. And he really got put a big target on his back. My dad was definitely not liked by the police in Washington County. That is for sure. And I'm not saying that they targeted him. I'm just saying he had a target on his back, whether he put it there or not. I reconnected with my dad in person when I was 21. So very soon after all of those memories started resurfacing that I was talking about. So I'm remembering all of this sexual abuse and other abuse that I went through in my adopted home and decided to go meet my dad. And he had just gotten out of jail and maybe I should wait until Jake's here to tell this story, because I don't know if I've probably have told him, but he should be right along. But my dad, I went to go see him, and I was I was really bummed out. I was really bummed out that I saw him drinking. I had hoped maybe he was sober since getting out of prison. Uh, and I was really sad to see that I could tell there was something more going on than just drinking. I was still quite new to the world of addiction at age 21. I had had my own little bout of problems with oxys and a little bit of Vicodin and things like that, painkillers, whatever. But I was by no means physically addicted to them. But I noticed that my dad definitely seemed like he was on pills. I was just like, man, dude, this sucks. And he was living in this big house, and it was the beginning of winter, and it was freezing cold, and it was just not good. I just wasn't I wasn't excited for him. I was like, this ain't good enough. And I want better for my dad. I want better for my family. I kind of put a little distance between him and I, because he tried very hard to just immediately thrust me into my biological family. My dad had me come by his house to meet him, and the whole family was there. My grandmother, aunts, cousins, distant cousins, just all kinds of people. And I was like, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to meet my dad. And I had brought somebody with me. I had brought a guy with me to go meet my dad for the first time. And I told this guy that, like, oh yeah, it's just my dad. I explained nothing to this guy that I brought with me. Like, yeah, it's just my dad. I didn't say like, oh, I haven't seen him since I was 5 years old. Oh, he was in prison. This is my first time actually meeting my dad. I tried to just act totally normal and bury it and tell this guy I'm with, it's just my dad. No big deal. So all this family is there, and I'm like, whoa, dude, this is too much. So I ended up telling my real dad, I'm like, I need some space, because I'm ready to have you in my life, but I'm not ready to have the whole family, because I was still kind of in like murky territory at the time. I was still talking to my adopted parents off and on at the time. It was all very tricky. I didn't know where I belonged. That was really the hardest thing, I guess, about getting older as an adopted kid, is you just don't know where you belong. Like even just something as simple as dating someone, and what do you tell them about your parents? Because it always comes up. That's like the first thing that comes up. It's your family. And having to explain to somebody that you're trying to pursue a romantic relationship with, oh, by the way, my family history is really fucking crazy and you'll never understand it. I mean, the guy that I'm dating now still doesn't understand it, honestly, because it's just so confusing and nobody can keep it track. I can barely fucking keep it track. But that's what my first book is for, Finding Michelle Canoe. That helped me keep things in track. So maybe I'll write a book for my dad and honor his life, because my dad wasn't perfect, but he had a heart of gold. I remember one time I was like tossing a football with him. This was after we had met. I was 21. We were just like tossing around a football, getting absolutely hammered, of course. And I just tried to like lightly bring up the subject of him losing me to foster care. And boom, he just broke down. He just exploded into emotion, like could barely breathe. He was crying so hard, and all he could keep saying was, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. They didn't give me a chance. They didn't give me a choice. He kept saying that. They didn't give me any options. So I had to be the one in the end comforting my biological father about what had happened to our family. I just hugged him and like rubbed his back a little bit and was like, I forgive you. I think I even said it's not your fault. So I'm glad I got that opportunity to do that for my dad because I never did get to do that for my mom. Sorry, I gotta clean my camera. Please don't hit me. That's better. Yeah, so I never got to do that for my mom, but I got to do it for my dad. But I still have a lot of guilt in how I handled things with that situation because my dad was getting into a lot of trouble with the law in the Augusta area. He had moved there to be closer to me. He's from the Machias area, but I was living in Augusta, so he came out there. Plus his son, my half brother, other half brother. See what I mean? Like this is confusing. But anyway, what was I even saying? Like my dad, yeah, he moved to Augusta. He moved to Augusta to be closer to me, and just immediately took to the streets. Like he was just living in like hotels. He lived with me in a hotel room briefly because I was homeless too in Augusta. We just kept like we perpetuated it with each other. Like we would ignite each other. And I remember he went out to a bar and he ended up spitting in a cop's face and got arrested. And I had to go bail him out. It was like $300. I had to sit in court. I was like, this isn't the way it's supposed to be. I shouldn't have to be the one bailing my dad out of jail. I wanted to reconnect with my dad so that he could help me. But he was still struggling. He had been in prison for 10 years and came out still addicted. I guess he just didn't get the help that he needed. He never really talked about prison with me. I think he mostly focused on just like lifting weights and getting through the day. I think he did read a lot, he said, but he certainly wasn't doing that when he got out of prison. So he was doing certain things in prison that were good for him, but then when he got out, they all stopped. Oh, here's Jake. He says, hey, sis, I'll join in a couple. Hey, Jake. I'll be here. Tell me how your sobriety is going. Just tell me how everything's going. I want to know everything. I tell you guys everything. Can't you tell me something? There's Jake. Hey, Jake.
Hello.
How was your sandwich?
I actually ended up having mac and cheese instead.
Oh, yum. That sounds good.
I got the bread out, but then I was like, wait a minute. I saw bacon bits in the fridge. I was like, oh, shit. Those go so good with mac and cheese. So I just did a little microwave easy meal. I don't give a shit. Like, whatever.
I made like a bomb salad last night, and I think I'm going to do it again today. But I have been like pretty bad lately. I ate like a whole box of cookies and then like 6 donuts yesterday. Yeah. I was going to say, like, we're totally on opposite schedules right now. Like, I've been going to bed really early, which is actually weird for me, but.
Like, what do you consider early? Like 8, 9?
Yeah, exactly. Me and sleep have a tricky relationship. Like, sometimes I abuse sleep, like, to avoid feelings. I call it a self-induced coma.
I can literally only sleep if I'm actually know I'm going to pass out within. Everyone does the things their own way.
True.
But anyway.
How's your way going? How's the sobriety?
It's going. Definitely. I know I messaged you a couple days ago.
Yeah,
wanted to talk about it a little bit. I hope I didn't like worry you or anything. It was just I recognize that it's like, okay, I definitely am craving it a lot. I should be more vocal about this.
Yeah.
Like, my cravings the past week, for whatever reason, were a lot more intense than what they usually are. So, like, not to the point where I was like, oh, I'm going to drink. Like, it was just like I knew I was craving it really fucking bad. Like,
yeah, still dangerous territory. Like, even if you're not going to, you recognize that you're still not going to drink, but you're recognizing the craving. And that is, I think that, like, it's really important to catch it because that you have to figure out what is actually triggering it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And it wasn't like anything external, really. Like, day-to-day life is pretty normal for the most part. I think it was maybe slightly boredom, maybe initially.
Yeah.
I was like, because I think I'm at the point now where my body is basically healed. Like, it's been 3 months almost. In 5 days, it'll be 3 months for me.
5
So
days. You can do that.
yeah, it's a quarter of a year. So,
3 months.
but
90
it's all,
days. 90 days is
yeah,
tough, dude. Tough, tough, tough.
oh yeah. But it's also me being very realistic, knowing that all right, I'm at the point where I would relapse each from previous times around that 3 month mark, which is really dangerous territory for me.
Mm,
So I recognize that I'm like, all right, this is really the true test for me now. Like, and it's like we're past just talking about it. Now it's like physically putting your money where your mouth is,
yeah.
and
Maybe it's like,
especially
sorry, go ahead.
just recognizing and also avoiding situations that could make me more tempted, like going anywhere where I know I could get it
Yeah.
or stuff like that. I think that was a big problem in the past because I was working at Hannaford or other places where I could easily go get it. It's
Yep.
like, and when you had that craving, you couldn't fight it. I just couldn't do it. I would give into it. Whereas now, I
Yeah.
only go to work, and then when I get picked up, I go right back home. There's no chance of me being like, oh, a detour. No.
Those are all really good like things that you've picked up because I mean, you're speaking my language from my own early sobriety. Like the first time I tried to get sober, I knew I definitely couldn't waitress or bartend because I mean it was so easy to just pour myself a shot behind the bar and then who knows, like,
Yeah.
it's way too dangerous for me because I'll steal it from the bar to get it, which is sad to say, but
Yeah.
or like I had this really bad routine of like there was a gas station right near my apartment. So on my way home, I just, scoot into that gas. It had a drive-through, dude, that they would literally bring you liquor through the drive-through.
That's
So
fucking great. I guess I missed out on that one. I
thank
would
you.
love that. That would have been dope.
I mean, it
Back
was
then,
like
I'd be like, hell yeah, man.
cigarettes.
It's
But
like
no,
doing
dude,
a drug deal.
yeah, like I'd roll through there and the old guy, he wouldn't even say anything to me. He'd just run and he knew exactly the beer I liked, or sometimes, I'd throw in
Yeah.
the whiskey or whatever. But
Throw in the regular and it's just another day. Nope.
yeah. So it was like, I can't go to this gas station anymore because this guy's gonna come running with a bottle of whiskey for
Miss
me. Like it's
Sabrina. Yeah.
a it's been a while, girl. No.
Welcome back.
No.
And
So
that's where
I
you
you
gotta be
just you
careful
gotta
though. You're
switch up
good
your
with that.
routine. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not, and here's the thing that I think we can both acknowledge. It's not that like when we were actively drinking that there weren't people that we missed talking to or hanging out with. Yeah, there were times where things were fun. But
True.
we have to just take care of ourselves at the end of the day. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, that means sometimes you just can't associate with some people, not because of them personally. It's just we have to protect ourselves. So
Right.
it ain't always easy.
I just feel that way. We have to go up north soon, like maybe even tomorrow. I don't know. But I feel that way when I'm up north, where it's like, this place is really dangerous to my sobriety because I spent so much time here just drinking and I don't have any other connections up there aside from
Yeah.
Chad and his family. I love his family and everything, but I get up there and I'm just like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like,
It sounds like you're very similar to me. I don't even know if we really talked about this. How we're so used to not really being close with family. Like that
oh,
we've just kind of made our own families throughout our lives with other, friends or people, whoever.
yeah,
Not because I hate it, like because I know grew up with my father's side of the family being there for holidays or whatever,
right.
but
But you
yeah,
still
like
have lost a whole other side of your
right,
family
yeah,
and your siblings, like
yeah, and even with like relationships, I wouldn't usually get too close with the families. I don't know, not because I had any beef or whatever, but
it was just hard.
yeah,
I
it's
would get
hard for me to convict,
very jealous of people who had close
yeah,
families or
especially large families where
large
everyone's
families.
everyone's always happy. I would always see it as like
Yeah,
this is so fake, like, and just
me too.
I was like, you don't even know, like you've had this happy-go-lucky fucking luck,
Yeah.
and everyone gets along, everyone's cool, everyone loves each
Well,
other, like
what would get to me was seeing other people's families treat each other like fucking shit and just not appreciate each other. I'd see that and be like,
but
God, you
obligate.
don't even know like how lucky you are.
Yeah,
but obligate, yeah. Control each other. They'd control each other, but not really love each other. And I'd just
Yeah,
be like, damn, you could have like a really strong support system, but as we've already figured out, families are everybody's different. So like what you and I think might want for a family, like could be different from what our sisters want, or,
it's just
you
yeah.
know, I don't
It's
know.
not that we can't heal, it's just because of our trauma, we have a harder time, I think, acclimating to family life.
It's
I'm just
triggering.
we're so free spirited too because we learned to be. We didn't. I didn't have older sisters telling me, "No, Jake, don't do that." I didn't have that. Which
Oh,
you probably
I
would have. You probably would have been fucking overprotective if we went to school.
honestly,
You know.
here's what I think. I think you and I would have been like two thieves, like,
Oh,
thick
jeez.
as
If we
thieves. Like,
were,
we were gonna be the mischievous little twin devils, probably.
one thing I will say that would have happened, and I don't think, like I know this would have, is that if we gone to school, especially if you were drinking at the time, that probably would have been how I would have gotten to drinking.
Totally, yeah.
Not saying you would have made me, but I would have seen
I
you
would just
doing
been
it, and yeah,
I mean, as kids, we did everything like, we just had to do everything together, like, where I was, you were. I
like we
mean,
probably, yeah, it probably would have
we
been
were
in the
like
house, and we would have been stealing it.
this. Totally.
We probably
We
would have
would've
had a lot of funny stories too, but
yeah, I bet we would've.
but
I wish we could have gotten them, but
yeah. Although I know we have spoke on the phone, I'm pretty sure when we were both drinking in the past.
hopefully we can make up for it in, like, the future years. I think that we should totally meet up soon, hang out soon. We
Oh,
really should just be getting together and doing a podcast in
yeah,
person.
let me know, and we can try to plan it on to someday.
Yeah.
Because between that and also because I have Sundays off at least right now.
I
So
like to post a lot of what we talk about on, like, TikTok. I've been posting it on
oh yeah,
TikTok, other Facebook, like, shorts.
yeah, you're the workhorse when it comes to this. I'll give you that.
I feel like I should be doing more, like, I could be
What you're
doing
doing is already enough.
I think the real key is just consistency, us just sticking with it, you know?
Right. Well, and that's why I make it important to me because I know it's something we should do. You can know what you want, but which is why I know it helps keep me from not wanting to drink. It helps keep me feeling like I'm helping other people and serving somewhat of a purpose. And I
Yeah.
actually wanted to. It wasn't planned, but this shirt that I'm wearing used to be kind of a party shirt. The world is shit, so drink it away. Like that's
That is totally something I would have worn too. No, it is good for us. It helps hold us
mm,
accountable and keep us both sober. Like, I like getting to look forward to it too. Like, okay, it's Sunday. I get
yeah,
to check in with Jake and see like
right.
how he's doing. Hey,
Yeah.
Jill Smith says, "Hey, hey girl, hey."
Today's the official first day of summer, summer solstice.
Oh
So,
shoot, that's right. I was so like wrapped
yeah,
up in it being Father's Day. We forgot the really important business. It's fucking summertime.
yes, it's officially the longest day of the year
Oh, cool.
as far as daylight.
Jill, she said she could be better. What's wrong?
I think it's probably she's spoken to us about her situation with her children. So it's never gonna get easier, Jill. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah. I
mean, you
mean,
can
well,
try to
it's
find
okay.
ways, but yeah, you can try. But
You could try.
when it comes to family and being removed from family, it's even if you reconnect, which is way better than anything else that we can do right now. But it will, at the end of the day, and I've said this to other people too, that the pain from that time of our life, it won't ever technically fully go away. But
No.
it's something we just have to learn to live with.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's literally all there is left to do is learning how to just deal with it, and the biggest thing is accepting it.
Yeah.
And I didn't accept stuff for a long time because if you don't even look into the truth of what your life was, how can you accept it? You're living a lie. So like
Yep.
for me, I just was hanging on to the hatred towards Michelle, which kept you at a distance.
Mm.
I mean, it kept everybody from a distance to me because I was just too busy. I used to be just such a hateful and like spiteful person, like jaded beyond belief.
Oh yeah, that's something that happens a lot too when you're just constantly drunk. Like you never have any time to rationalize why you're feeling what you're feeling. You just want to be fucking mad, and
The
it's
world,
like it's like therapeutic in a weird fucking way. Like
it is. It's a coping mechanism. It has to be.
yeah,
Of like, if you convince yourself that the world is so shitty that you don't want to be a part of it, then you won't feel so bad that you're not a part of it. Because like I wasn't a part of society for a long time. But Jill, I know my husband is missing our babies. I'm sure that he is, and I'm sure your babies are missing your husband and you.
yeah. Also, I did hear you talking a little bit before I joined while I was eating, and
Yeah.
I hope you're doing okay today. I'm sure Father's Day is not fun for you, just like Mother's Day isn't. So
Yeah. Mother's Day is probably worse, but Father's Day is hard too. I just can't help but like think about both of my dads, like my real dad and my biological dad, and not like having either of them and just thinking about what the hand they got dealt as dads. You know, I'm very open about how terrible my adopted father is, but at the end of the day, I still love him.
no, well, that's important to hold on to. You know,
I
and
wish I
hey,
could let it go.
to to be completely honest, at least you did get to have some sort of connection with him.
Yeah. There
You
was
know,
good sides of him. There were like actually good sides of him sometimes. He
yeah.
could be funny and he did have a way of making me feel special and important, but it was all like a power trip, but nobody
Something
else liked him in
was
the world.
something is better than nothing.
Jill. So me and my husband, we looked stuff up. If our kids look us up on the internet when they're teenagers, we cannot respond back to them because the foster parents who are adopting them can get a restraining order against us. Did they already do that? Do you know? I'm surprised my parents didn't do that for Michelle. They probably did.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
I bet
think
it was in
anything
that
like
file.
yeah, nothing like that happened on my end at least. Like my
God.
dad quite literally told her, saying if she got clean, then she could speak to me. But until she did so, he wasn't going to allow it. And that was just his way of protecting me, which is why
Yeah.
I'm no longer upset about it. Was I for a little while? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Like particularly when I was drinking last, I think I brought that up once, saying I was so pissed. Like it wasn't his decision to make, but it was.
It was.
I
Yeah.
was a kid. How can I make that kind of decision when I had no understanding of what was going on with her? All I knew was that I wasn't seeing her. That's all I knew. I didn't know what she was doing. All growing up, all I knew was that my mom was just gone. That was it. She might as
What did
well have
you
been dead almost. Like
what did you think happened to her deep down?
I can't even really remember like whenever I would ask like where she was or anything, he never really had an answer. He just basically was that she couldn't take care of me. Like it was just kind of left as a very bland sort of thing. Like because he honestly didn't really know where she went, and if he did, it was
Yeah.
vague. I don't really think the location mattered to him. It was just the fact that she was still using. So
He was definitely put in a really hard position. I don't know what I would do in his situation. I don't think I would have done anything better. I mean, what
yeah.
can you do?
But he was still open to the reconnection initially. When I saw her back in 2008. So the first time.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Glad for that. Jill
Yeah.
says, no, we don't even know if they've already adopted them. I mean, our court case was on March 16th of 2026. Why aren't they informing you if they're being adopted? Shouldn't you be like immediately informed?
It's kind of weird,
Yeah.
that you reconnected with your dad and I reconnected with our mom.
Right. And I only reconnected with my dad because our mom had died.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, like I have to figure out the truth because people are dying. Like I
Did,
gotta,
did he even? Did you ever like ask him about her? Like,
yeah. He like never really told me very much. He was just like, we never dated. It was never anything like
it
that. We were
was
just
quite
friends.
literally,
Yeah.
quite literally just happened, and
He said that, like, she loved music, but he hated, like, how much Bob Dylan she listened to,
Bob Dylan, huh?
and he said that they did try to date for a little while, but that she, like, cheated on him or something, and I can remember that. I remember him throwing a rock at our apartment window and breaking it and being like, "Daddy, what are you doing?" He's like, "Your mom's a slut," or something, I don't
Jesus
know.
Christ.
Or,
Wow.
your mom's a cheater," I don't know.
She's a what? Yeah, like
I can't remember. I just remember it being bad and him crying. But he said that they just like they were good co-parents. Like he had me on the weekends and stuff and like sometimes holidays,
yeah, kind of
usually
like with
holidays.
just like me and my dad
Yeah,
at that time.
exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. He didn't really like keep in touch with Michelle either once I was lost to foster care. He said he didn't know like anything about where she was, and I had asked Michelle before she died if she knew where my dad was, and she was like, "Last I heard, he was in prison." So I did end up figuring out that he was in prison and started writing letters to him.
All right. So he didn't even get out until after Michelle had already passed.
Yeah, I was 21, I think. I think I was 21.
So you were the one that broke the news to him about that too, and
Yeah, yeah, he was very upset actually. He was a pretty spiritual guy, I
I
think.
mean, at the end of the day, whether they, didn't like each other anymore in whatever context, he still had
Yeah,
a child with her. So that's going to hurt. Just like I imagine it must have bugged my dad at least a little, because he knew that that was the mother of his kid. So he was,
right.
but I think he was more worried about me.
I'm sure. Sorry, I'm going to show these. Jill says, we've heard it can take up to 6 months or longer to adopt them. Yeah, usually adoption takes like 2 years, actually. Nobody's ever informed us anything if they've been adopted already by the foster parents. I mean, this is Ohio. Ohio, I hear terrible, terrible things. If you ever have any questions, Jill, you should really reach out to my friend. Her name is Kaula Zafar. I could probably I'll send you a message. Maybe send me a message and I'll get you her. But she's from Ohio and she's like the smartest woman in the world. She knows like everything about foster care and the legalities of it. But I think she'd be a great resource for you. Jill, my birthday is tomorrow. I'm turning the big 40. Well, happy early birthday. I wish that
Happy
you could have your
birthday.
kids around you to make it actually a good one.
Mhm. Well, just try to find your own idealistic way to celebrate. That's all you can do. Just try to make it about you if you can.
Yeah. Or, reflect. What do you want the next year to look like? I like to do that on my birthday. Like,
Yeah.
what do I want to do next? What do I want to
That's
accomplish this year?
I always felt like that was really the whole point of a birthday was to reflect. Be like, all right, another year's
Yeah.
gone by, another year I'm alive. What am I gonna do now? Or
Yeah.
it's
What's
like
next for you?
like for me, that was a pretty easy answer on my birthday this year because I was like, all right, I'd started this new journey of just trying to be healthier and quit
Yeah.
drinking, of course, but also it's not just only about the drinking; it's about adjusting my mindset. Learning how to do things better, things that would lead to drinking, the root of the problems. So, because
That's
drinking
the
is
key.
hardly ever the only problem. There's usually a lot more going on. So,
Like 99.9% of the time, there's something else.
yeah,
Like 99% of addicts have some sort of mental health issue, not necessarily like a big diagnosis, but like they
oh,
got a little twinge of depression, they got a little twinge of anxiety, and it's because of trauma. Jill Smith, please send me a message, inbox me. I will, Jill. It is what it is, she says. It is what it is, but sometimes it is what we make it. As far as the situation for your kids, the best thing that I can give you for advice is just get yourself some resources and get yourself some seriously good legal counsel. You need a good lawyer. That's how the state operates, is through laws and the judicial system. If you can get a really good lawyer that's willing to work pro bono, that's probably your only fighting hope. Our mom didn't have a lawyer. She didn't. I don't know.
that wasn't gonna happen. Yeah.
Mhm.
I actually had a dream about her the other night.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Tell me about it. Tell me.
I didn't like it in a way because it almost felt like in the dream, like I can't remember the detail, of course. It was just it had something to do with like for some reason she was alive. She was like mad at me or something, and sure, like, but it wasn't really yelling mad. It was just mad.
I'd like just a feeling.
Yeah, it's crazy because and it always comes back to that fucking apartment building that we lived in.
Oh no.
It's almost as if my dreams like transport me back, not to like that day, but just to that building. Because again, I spent a little under a year there, and
Yeah. I was kind of wondering that today, actually. Like, when you think about our mom, like, how do you picture her in your head? Do you picture, like, our mom from when we were little kids or our mom from right when you got reconnected?
they're reconnected for sure because it's more recent. You can't help
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot from little.
Right.
Just a few things. Like
God, I wish that I could have reconnected with her. God. Or, like, I wish that there was, like, videos of her or something.
yeah.
I just want to hear her voice. Like, I just want to hear
The
it.
way I look at it, I don't think the love that she gave for me was just for me. I think that was her in her own way trying to love all of us again. And she probably was hopeful that it would start with me. And then as time went on, maybe I could talk to you guys more and she could finally reunite with all of her kids. I think in her long term plan, that's what it was. She wanted to rebuild and fix the family.
Totally.
Because remember, she got sober, you know.
For 5 years.
I think she knew she wasn't going to have a long life, but she wanted to have what time she had to do anything she could to make up, not fix everything, but at least give her some peace. So,
Yeah, she just wanted to be able to hold her kids one last time before she died because she knew it was coming. She
yeah.
had to have known. I mean, her body was so destroyed in the diagnosis that she was given. I think that her prognosis probably was like a year to live,
Mm,
but who knows? I mean, untreated hepatitis C and the MRSA and all of it.
yeah.
Jill, I feel like my stepdaughter's doctor knew something about my son when we lost our rights because his doctor was wanting the foster parents to get an updated genetics test done on my son because he is at risk for CP. At risk for CP? What's CP? Child protective?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Weird. Do you have the medical records? Paper trails. You want to get records of everything. Everything anybody's ever said or done in regards to your child. Paper trails.
So I was thinking, because I was talking about this with a friend earlier about how I want to turn this podcast into not necessarily always the same subjects. I think we should, in some ways, maybe try to branch and talk about things that are going on in the world that we want to talk. It doesn't have to be
Totally.
political, but like just anything,
Yeah.
a wide variety of things. Like I have a question for you that I'm sure you'd
Okay.
love to tell me the story of how you got your dog. What led to
Oh,
you getting
Jack.
Jack? Yeah.
Jack.
What's the story? How
Well,
did you obtain Jack?
let's see. This was like 10 years ago. So I was in Presque Isle. I had just moved back. My dad had just died. And I was living in the spare room of my ex-counselor. She was this older lady who like took me in as her own kid basically. But it was a really bad situation. It shouldn't have happened. But anyway, I was living with her and she had two chihuahuas of her own. I was working like at the bar and just stacking cash. I was trying to like save up money so I could get my own place. But I had all this money and I was like, what if I got a dog instead? Like a purebred chihuahua. It was $1,500. So I got Jack instead of getting an apartment.
Something
And
I would have
oh my
done.
God, he was so cute. I don't know. I didn't even feel guilty about it. I never thought that I would have a small dog. I always liked like big dogs. I thought small dogs were stupid, but I was like, I'm so on the go and like I don't even know where I'm going to be sleeping half the time. So with a small dog, I don't have to worry about it. And I was thinking of like getting an apartment. So I'm like, I could sneak a small dog in there.
Sure.
So I got Jack, and I mean, he's been awesome. He's the best. He comes with me everywhere. And he was a really, really good puppy. He was easy to train. He was smart. He was kind of funny. He had like blood sugar problems. So I would go to school and then go to work. So sometimes he'd have to be alone for like hours at a time, almost all day. And I'd come back and he wouldn't have touched his food. There was one night, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and he hadn't eaten and he was like drooling all over himself. Like he was covered in drool and his head
Jeez.
was like rolling all around and his eyes were rolling back. I was like, holy fuck, dude, I killed my dog. Like he was probably only 6 months old. I'm like, he's dead. Like I just killed my dog.
Yeah.
But I was like, what is going on? What is it? It has to be blood sugar. So like I took a little syrup on my finger and like rubbed it on his gums and he snapped right out of it and he was totally fine. Thank
Wow.
God. Thank God I thought to do that. I don't know. So then I like gave him eggs with cheese and syrup every single morning for like a year. Got him really spoiled. We're back on track now though. He doesn't eat people food.
Yeah,
Not allowed.
it's good. Yeah.
Aside from like maybe chicken, One time, Jack, I got hammered and naturally and cooked like a big steak for myself, but then of course I'm drunk and I don't want to eat it. So I just set it on the coffee table and then pass out. And
Oh shit.
I woke up and Jack had eaten the whole fucking thing. Like big ass steak, small ass dog.
You must have been out for a good amount of time for
Oh
that little dog to eat all that
my god,
and
dude.
chew all that.
I
Demon.
know.
Like
I don't even know how. He doesn't even have teeth. But he
nail
ate
it.
a whole pizza one time. Not a whole pizza. It was like those Tony's pizzas.
Yeah.
He ate a whole fucking Tony's pizza one time. He's a brat.
Jesus.
God, it'll be
It,
hard when I lose him, it'll be hard, but I
naturally.
don't think
Same
I'll
with
get
me,
another
man.
pet.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that too, especially with like this past vet visit. Like I told you, that wasn't helping me that either.
Yeah,
I felt like I was broke. It's like almost $500 to do all this. Like my God, like I know it's expensive, but like shit,
that's really expensive.
that's like a whole paycheck and a half right
Yeah,
there for me. Like,
yeah.
but it is what it is. I did it, but I also felt good because I was like, something I admittedly wasn't doing very good with for years because of my choices.
Heard
At least
that.
now I'm taking care of him, got him on medication. Because at the end of the day, I love that dog. I love Lennon. So he's been my rock. He ain't clingy like Jack is with you, but he loves me. I love him. I take care of him, do the best I
He's a
can,
good
but
boy.
so hopefully he does good with his meds. But after
Yeah,
he goes though, which hopefully is, still far away, but I don't. I'm conflicted on if I want to ever have another dog after that.
yeah.
Because my plan was I was originally going to get another husky down the line. I wanted to start off with Lennon and then see how I do with one dog, and then maybe a few years I'd get another one so he had a playmate. Because when I first got him, Brad still had one of his Goldens, so he did have a companion for a few years.
Oh,
But then she had to get put down, unfortunately. So ever since then he's kind of been less active, and I mean he's getting older. He's 8, but
yeah. That's when I noticed changes in Jack was like age 8. I think it's
dog years
like,
go by quick.
oh my god, yeah, they do. But don't you think it's like kind of weird that like we are healing our family's generational trauma, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
It's healing, so it's going to end with us. But you and I, like, none of us have, like, we don't have kids and we might never have kids. So, like, does it actually end with us? I guess so.
I don't know about the others what their plans are in that regard, but for me, I'm not opposed to children. I just it it's kind of like one of those things. Like, well, I better get cracking on it if I'm like really wanting that eventually, because I don't want to be one of those. Nothing against people that do have children when they're older, but
You don't want to be an old parent.
I don't want to have a child and then have to raise that child till I'm 60. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I actually don't hate that idea. I kind of like the idea of like when I'm in my 60s,
Maybe it'll help me feel
50s,
younger. Maybe
but
some way.
adopting.
Yeah.
Obviously not having my own. I want to read Jill's comment. She says, when I was a teenager, me and my mom had a dog. It was a Scotty Terrier mixed with lab in it. When she was a puppy, I had a tall bed, and I thought, there's no way she can jump up onto the bed. I had a bowl of donuts, chocolate donuts, on my bed. I wasn't in my room at the time, and I said, Mom, did you eat my donuts? And my mom, like, no, well, we found out the dog ate the donuts. That's not good. Chocolate's so bad for dogs.
I feel like every pet parent has that like one story where the dog got into something. And
Yeah, totally.
the problem is that if you don't catch them in the act, you really can't even be mad.
I know.
They don't know any better. They're
They don't.
opportunists. You know.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, a huge ass juicy steak. Of course they're gonna eat it. I probably would too.
You got to look at it like how we would look at a drink back in the day. You know, it's the same idea. If it's available, we're gonna have it.
If it's available, we're gonna drink it. I was great at like drinking half drank drinks on tables at the bar. Like, oh, cool, half a
Like,
Bloody
well, it's
Caesar.
either that or it's getting dumped. So,
Yeah.
like,
oh my God, there was this one time I was bartending, and there was this bar. He was supposed to be a bar back, but he was not doing anything that I asked him to. Like, tell him to go get ice, and he disappears for hours, or tell him to run your food, and it doesn't happen. Whatever. So he's new, right? And at the end of that shift, I went around through the dish pit and took all the glasses and dumped all of it into a big bucket, like coffee, alcohol, juice, water, all kinds of drinks, and told this barback that it was part of his initiation into work to drink it. And he did it. Didn't even give me a hard time about it. Jeez. He was just like, all right, I'll do it. I'm like, damn, you really are dumb. He said it wasn't that bad. So
that's what they always say.
Yeah, he still sucked as a barback, so it was for nothing. Jill says, when my mom was working at a donut shop, your family loved donuts, huh? When my mom was working at a donut shop, the dog would just run up to her and smell the donuts. Or when you bring home a donut box, the dog knew what was in it. He just like grew this obsessive donut fetish.
Yep. Well, it's like with me with my mac and cheese, because remember I used to let Lennon lick the bowl afterward. He wouldn't actually eat any of what was left, just the cheese. I figured, hey, whatever. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, well, that probably isn't really that good for him. So I stopped doing it. I don't know. Just between the vet shit, I'm just trying to be more careful. So
me too. I just don't dare. Like, Jack will just have explosive diarrhea all over the world if I give him like anything. Yeah. So now he just gets this like fresh organic food that, I mean, it's not expensive. He loves it. He is obsessed with it. In the mornings, it's just nonstop whining until I get him his food, which is really, it drives me insane, dude, because he never used to do that. It's like a new thing.
Is it like just a...
Yeah. And then he'll like, and he'll catch himself doing it, and his eyes are like, and he'll like look at me like, don't be mad, and then just come right back and do it all over again.
Yeah, because I'm sure you'll give him that look like.
I just do this.
It's like, you need to wait, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah, like seriously, 2 seconds, bro. You're gonna be okay. Jill, my cat knows when my mom's sugar is low. My cat has had a small piece of donut before. What did the cat think of the small piece of donut? Was it chocolate? Animals have they're very intuitive with our health.
Oh yeah, they are. There's animals that can literally smell. They can detect cancer,
seizures.
Yeah, everything. It's incredible.
I think Jack actually is registered as an emotional support animal. He got taken by animal control when I got sober, and it was a bitch to get him back.
Mm.
Jill, my cat knows when my mom's blood sugar is low, like he's always on top of her and goes crazy when her sugar is low. He's like, "Get up, mom, you gotta eat."
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's
cool.
true. And that was another thing that was crazy about like when you're drinking, like the amount of sugar you're consuming because of it. Like, because alcohol, I
Yeah.
don't know how much sugar it actually has per bottle or what it is, but
I don't know either, but I know it's mad crazy.
is it like high as a soda? Like about
I don't think actually it is as high as soda, because now that I think about it, like would they'd always like talk about how it's not so much the liquor, it's the mixer. But like if you're drinking like certain beers, I think
all
like
right,
Truly, Twisted Teas,
or the mics.
Mike's, yeah, those probably are like as much as soda, I bet.
Oh,
Probably
probably
pretty
more.
close.
I wouldn't doubt, especially
Yeah.
the big cans. Like, oh hell yeah! I
Oh
can't believe I
God.
used to drink so many of those.
Ugh.
Oh,
Ugh.
that was the thing. The recent years with my drinking, I never went back to Mike's. Like, I just was like, fuck that. Like, literally, I was just like, I'm just gonna drink liquor,
Honestly, you
vodka
saved your
specifically.
stomach.
Yeah,
You saved your stomach doing that.
I like vodka's that much better, but
No, but the carbonation to those mics and stuff, ooh,
yeah, it would make me feel horrible.
for
Just
sure.
bloated and
All around shitty. If you ever just want to feel like ass, have a drink.
mm.
Jill, I'm actually wanting some wine coolers for your birthday. Are you going to?
If anything, though, I just hope that, like, especially for any newcomers that do come in here, I hope that, like, I'm not necessarily saying that alcohol is bad for everybody or that it's this horrible, evil thing. Does it serve a purpose in the grand scheme of things? No. But that don't, because of our personal experiences, mean that you can't drink or whatever. If you can have a drink at dinner or whatever, or at a party and be fine, more power to you. Seriously. Like,
Yeah.
I
Big
respect the hell out of
congrats.
anybody that can do that. And you're lucky. I can't.
Yeah, you are
Um,
lucky.
I
If
was
you can
talking to
manage
this
your
on the
drinking,
phone
you're
earlier about this, like because like for example, my father's wife, she doesn't have a problem with it at all. Like she can have wine like once or twice a year and she's fine, you know. So, but whereas my father's side, and he was
yeah.
telling me about this, saying like my grandparents, his parents, they were drinking all the time, smoking cigarettes all day, but also constantly drinking. Work, come home, get drunk, like just another day.
Loop. Work, drink, work, drink, work, drink. No, thank you. No, thank you to either. Just kidding. I do want to work, but like just not for somebody else. I want to work for me.
That's what's cool
Who
about what I'm doing
knows?
too, is that I'm not really it doesn't really feel like I'm working for them that much because dishwasher, you're in your own station doing your own thing basically the
Yeah.
entire time. Like you'll talk to them, they'll communicate if they're like, hey, can you help me with this real quick, whatever. But it's
Right.
it ain't like Hanford where I had to constantly, go by what the managers were doing, even if I didn't agree with it, which pissed me off. And
You have a mission and a clear task to do, and you get it done. As long as people aren't giving you a hard time or like bullying
no,
you or being
no,
asshats.
yeah, I mean, nothing crazy. Like yeah, I haven't had like any issues. The only thing that I would call this an issue is like very minor, like just being corrected on how to properly do something or whatever.
Do you
Like
hate
when
being corrected?
yes,
Me too.
it, my mind still associates it as negative, even if
Negative.
they mean nothing by it. Even if they're like basically, for example, I had the dishes closer towards the walkway, and I would spray the stuff there because it was an easier angle. Whereas she was like, "Well, pointer." It was the choice of the wording.
Pointer,
Said
yeah. No.
just a pointer, move the rack over towards the wall, and you can spray it like that, so that way it's not splashing backward. Thank you. Like, like
I already know the type of human you're talking about. It's like
I
pointer.
listen. Like,
Don't be so condescending. It's the condescendingness.
yes, there's a good way to approach it. And remember, I've only been there a little over a month. Like, you can easily be like, "Hey, like, Here, let me show you a better way to do this. All you gotta do, just spray it like that towards the wall, so that way you're not splashing back and hitting people. All right, it's like
Or
appreciate what
like,
you're doing. Thank you. Just
yeah. Or like
there's
be funny. Like the best bosses I ever had always approach stuff like that with a sense of humor. They
yeah,
would make
laugh it
fun of
off.
me and it would like in a jokey, nice way and be like, like if I was splashing it, they'd make a joke and then just be like, why don't
Yeah.
you try it this way? You know what I mean? Like
I'm not
just
saying
more casual.
pointer. Thank you. Like,
Jill says as long as you don't mix it with marijuana and brownies, but you can mix marijuana and brownies.
it's true.
Yes, please. Both of them combination will make you feel very sick. Oh, dude, that's why like I couldn't smoke weed if I was drinking. I'd just get the spins like so hard.
I
I could
would
smoke and
only
then drink, but then I wouldn't drink.
that. Yes, that's what I was about to say. Like,
So, no
if
more
you drink,
weed.
if you drink first, you were fine, but the moment you smoked, holy fuck!
Get fucked. Yeah. Lights
Like
out.
I literally couldn't do it because it was that bad. I would literally have to pace around the room because I was dizzy.
Yeah,
Like,
I would just spin and spin and spin and just the
because
worst
it
feeling
would just.
ever. I wonder why that happens.
I think it's because of how it's processed. Because when you inhale the smoke, it's like directly to your brain, so it's going to amplify what the alcohol's already been doing. It's just like more intense. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Whereas if you drink afterward, you're going to come down from the weed quicker. So by the time the booze is like fully in your system, you're pretty much, unless you continue to smoke, I guess. But
Right.
I was able to maintain both for a little while.
I was too actually for a little bit, but
Then I
by the
started
time
getting
I was drinking hard, it was like, no.
the anxiety got worse, and that's why
Oh,
actually why I stopped smoking specifically, because I just couldn't handle it anymore. I think over time the drinking just did something to me in the anxiety sense where I just couldn't smoke anymore.
I bet you'll not that you need to, but I bet you'll get to the point where like you could smoke.
I
But
could, yeah,
I want to say bye to Jill. She said, I'll talk to you both next week. I hope you have a great week. You too, Jill. Thank you for coming in and talking to us. And I hope you
yeah,
have a great birthday. And I will message you that information too.
yeah. But yeah, no, I agree. Like I would love like for us to have a joint together someday, like for sure.
Totally. On our podcast. No, that
Yeah,
would be too much pressure. What if you like freaked out? You're like, it's documented.
like I'm good. I promise I'm good. Sabrina, can you just do the talking for a minute? So I don't have
Yeah, it might not be
existential
a good idea.
dread.
Oh shit, that's the worst. Existential dread. I get to this
God,
point where it's like
hate it.
my brain will be like, bitch, you were focused on all of the wrong things. All of a sudden my brain will
Mhm.
just say that. What are you doing? Why are you on social media? But I have to remember like I'm doing the social media with a purpose. I'm trying to inspire people to get sober, be sober myself. So like I'm not just out like I don't know, casting selfies into the wind or whatever. I do have a purpose behind my social media presence and maybe it drives some people crazy, but that's my railroad, I guess, to
Oh,
getting
like
the story out.
yeah,
Isn't
and
it
I'm
everyone
happy.
nowadays?
And I'm happy to help support you with that. I'm glad that we do this. It's a good way for you to kind of get more people to discover your book, possibly. But also, I really do believe it's healing for both of us in general because it's allowing us to actually reconnect more
Yeah.
properly. Because that's what I love
Yeah.
about this. This is also a way for us to kind of learn more about each other, like how you got your dog, things like that.
Yeah.
Stuff I wouldn't have known otherwise.
Maybe next week we should have like a fun trivia episode.
I'm
Like
completely down for that.
want to? Like just
Yeah.
each do like, I don't know, 20 questions. We'll play
Yeah.
20 questions.
We'll consider it like a late special birthday type stream for you, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. My birthday is coming up. Jeez.
Which, yeah, 2 days. Happy early birthday, by the way. I'll
Thanks.
still say it on the day of.
I don't feel too bad about a birthday this year. The last two I felt kind of hard. I was like, oof, 30. Like that kind of hurts. But
Yeah, the 31
32,
hurt.
whatever. I mean, I'm
That's how I
noticing that
felt turning 31.
yeah. I didn't like turning 31 either because it was like, damn, it's already here. But I don't know, I feel like my our 30s is gonna be like I feel like a whole different woman compared to who I was 10 years ago, so I'm excited for the next 10 because I know I'm gonna make the most of it, you know? I'm gonna really fucking live and take you with me and make something of my life.
Mhm.
32, whatever, that's still pretty young. I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm looking older, but can't be 20 forever. I still feel like I'm 17 sometimes, but
Oh hell yeah.
I ain't.
It is
I ain't.
crazy. That reflection, that epiphany that you have sometimes knowing it's like it really wasn't that fucking long ago. I was a teen. Like
Yeah,
it's like the time really does go by.
it does. I'm trying to like slow it down and just be
And that's where
present,
it speeds up when you try to slow it down.
trying to control it. Yeah.
It's
I just mean
why you
like
gotta
trying to
live in
be
the moment.
present,
You you have to
living
be.
in the moment.
And I do my best. I try to make each day, even though predictable, like I try to make them like, all right, what's on the agenda today? Something I want to do, which is why I'll give myself some kind of a task, which for me, even if it's so simple, like I could watch a movie series, I'll be like, all right, I'll plan one a night, one movie a night. Gives me something to look forward to at that specific time
Yeah. Something
or
to look forward
whatever.
to.
Yeah.
That's kind of cute. I hope she doesn't mind me saying this if she does watch, but like our older sister and I, at the end of every day, like we're going through the thick of it, you know, like our childhood fucking sucked.
Yeah.
But that at the end of every day, our older sister would ask me, "What was the highlight of your day?" Like just tell me what the best part of your day was. So every day I would be looking for it so that I could tell her.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the simplest little things,
It
you
still
know.
sticks with me. I'll every day, what's the highlight of my day today?
It's how you gotta be, and that's like not us being like fake. That's just us being trying to give ourselves something to smile about, be happy about.
It's what survivors do.
Yeah. Not letting our guilt or regrets or trauma continue to affect us as we go along on this journey we call life, and
Yeah.
just have to roll with the punches. And sometimes it does feel like I'm in a boxing match with myself. Where every once in a while, my opponent, being the booze, if that's what you want to call it, knocks me on the ground, and I have to take a few hits before I get back up and turn the fight around. And
Yeah.
that's one thing I give myself credit for is I'm a comeback king. I know how to bounce back.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I'm sure you've had experiences like that. I mean, you're coming up on 2 years here. So I'm sure
Almost there.
you're probably doing a lot of reflecting right now because of that. And
I really am.
like,
Lots of
what would you say you've learned the most in your second year of sobriety versus your first?
triggers are everywhere and you'll probably never know all of them. So it's better to just have a game plan for when they do come up because they usually tie back to the same thing. They just
Yeah.
manifest in different ways. And I would say the importance of connection for sure. Because anytime I tried to get sober before, it was like, I'm a hard bitch. I can do this on my own. I don't need anybody's help. But it's not even about asking for help, it's about accountability. So, like me telling the whole world on an almost daily basis that I'm trying to be sober, it would really bruise my pride to have millions of people see me fail because I don't like to fail.
I don't either.
So, I mean,
That's
there's a pressure there, but it's good pressure that I didn't have before. So just maintaining accountability and connection
that's a
and
big one.
preparing for triggers. I'd say those are the biggest things probably.
Yeah, accountability is one of the biggest ones. You have to recognize where your choices went wrong before
Yeah.
and be like,
I'd
and
say
just
the I'd say the first year the big focus was finding purpose.
you know,
That was hard for me because
That's what happens when you quit. Usually, like you're left with like, okay, now what do I do with all this free time I have now? Now that I'm not
Yeah,
shit faced all the time, like what do I do?
right. What's going to be worth getting up out of bed because a week ago it was booze. Now I don't have it.
Yep.
What am I going to get up out of bed for? And I don't know, spirituality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely need that. Like a belief in a higher power, something
Yeah. Yeah. And
that you can't control.
if you're religious, pray. Like, whatever helps you.
Even if you're not religious, pray. It's a manifestation tool. I
Hmm.
just like positive affirmations. I have to say those like I am in control. I have to say that in my head sometimes. I'm in control or I am safe. I'm worthy.
It's a big one. Yeah. You have to feel worthwhile what you're doing with your life and your time.
Yeah.
And that's why I think so many people like hate their jobs and hate daily life. It's because they're not doing anything with it. They're just going to work, doing the same shit every fucking day. And I admit
Convenient.
I do have that problem sometimes, admittedly. Because I do like routine.
I do too. I do better with it.
Yeah. I don't like doing things on the fly. Which is why, like for me, when I go on a vacation, that's like the highlight of the year because it's something completely different from what you usually do. So
Yep.
it's like I'm planning on hopefully doing a trip within a couple months. I'm gonna try to go somewhere.
Yeah.
There's different ideas. I mean, Florida obviously is somewhere I always miss going to, but I thought about going to Washington D.C. possibly.
Cool. It would be
Maybe.
fun to go to we should just do a trip sometime together. We
Well, I
obviously
definitely want us to go to New York. It's
yeah,
gotta happen.
soon.
And yeah, I mean,
And
for
then
one, there's just so much to do in the city, so much to explore. But also, I'd love for us to see our sister there too. So
me too.
I
We should
think
check in with her.
yeah, we will.
I'd
But
love for her to come on this.
that'd be a fun. Yeah, that'd be great. She'd have fun with us.
She would. It would be, it would be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk to her about it sometime. But I totally think that at least next week we should do our like 20 questions thing. And they could be like questions about literally anything. Just
Yeah. Anything.
doesn't have to be like sobriety related or whatever. But
Oh no.
I don't know. I think it would be fun.
No, I'm totally game for it. Kind of reinvent the podcast a little bit, add some more layers to it.
Yeah. Add some flavor. But what
Yes.
do you think? Think we should call it a night and tune
Yeah.
in next Sunday?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll leave the floor open for a second if anybody
Yeah.
is in here and wants to say anything before we wrap up here. Hit a pretty quiet one today. So
Yeah. I'm like,
it's a hit or miss. Sometimes people are like just getting ready for the week. And,
Father's Day at dinner time. Probably a lot of people are having like Father's Day meetups or whatever. Brad, he said, "Happy early birthday, Sabrina." Thank you, Brad. Thank you so much. But I like our Sunday meetings.
yeah, it's good for us.
And even if like it doesn't pop off when it's live, there's still potential to pop off because I'm gonna drop this on YouTube and it'll be on Spotify.
Yep.
And you can catch like lots of clips on our Facebook page, The Jake and Bina Show, and my Facebook personal page, and my TikTok, and my Instagram. I post it everywhere. So
Exactly.
just little clips, highlights. The highlight.
Yes. We're a good old highlight reel.
Yeah.
All
Highlight of
right.
the day. This was my highlight of today, for sure. It
Awesome.
always
Well,
is
mine
on
too.
Sundays.
Yes.
Oh, Lauren, I love watching you both on Sundays. I'm sorry if you're just joining, Lauren. We were just about to hop off. It's been almost 2 hours, but I'm going to post this live on YouTube, or I'm going to post this on YouTube and Spotify if you want the audio. So thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren. All righty, well, or any day.
Or any day. She's such a sweetheart.
Yeah, she is great. All righty, well, it's
All
been
right.
good. But yes, just in case you are just coming in, Lauren, we're gonna do a special, maybe not special, but something different next week. We're gonna do a little bit of questionnaire between Sabrina and I.
Yeah, we're gonna play 20 questions, and then like everybody who's watching, if you can ask us questions too. It's just basically gonna be like a serious Q&A, get to know us a little deeper. It'll be fun.
That'll give us a task. So, wait, is it 10 questions for each or?
No, 20 each.
Oh, okay.
Or do you think that's too much? I say we do 20
Well,
just in
we don't
case.
even have to
We
call
don't
it
have
20
to get long.
questions. Yeah, we don't even have to call it that. It could just be on the fly, whatever thing, anything we
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to discuss and come up with.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably brainstorm a little bit, if anything, but
And you
yeah.
can message me too. Like if you have like, I don't know, more ideas.
Oh, yeah, it can be about anything. Like I said, just little things like how you got your dog, stuff I've
Yeah.
always wondered. So, it'd be fun
Get
do
to
that.
know each other a little better.
Thank you, what is that
Okay.
emoji, Lauren? What is
Oh,
that?
it's the hugging emoji.
Oh, for some
Hugs.
reason it looked like grapes on my computer. That's what I thought it was for a second. I was about to say, I'm trying to understand the context.
She's sending hugs through the phone, and she said, "Thank you to you both. Thank you, Lauren. Hope to see you next Sunday, you guys. We'll be back in a week and checking in on a recovery, talking to Jake, talking to Bina, because it's the Jake and Bina calls. So,
Exactly.
see you next Sunday.
All right. Take
Love you,
care,
Jake.
sis. Love you. All
Okay,
right, bye, guys.
bye.